Are you sick of getting sick? Are you sick of catching everything that goes around? Hey, I'm Lance Shanes. Thanks for tuning in. And I help people navigate their spiritual awakening. And this is part of it for me. This is something I learned early on. And it's changed my life radically. So I'll start off by saying, the inspiration for this video today came from Twitter. And I'm not super active on Twitter, but I'm starting to get back there more. I have a lot of people over there, but I've kind of it's kind of fallen by the wayside as I've done other things. But there was a post today about a lady and her husband are in their 50s, and they're on no prescription meds, and they were like, "We don't know anyone." I was like, "Yeah, me too." And it turns out there was like hundreds of replies. I'm 47. I'll be 48 in October, October 7th, 10/7. I'm not on any prescription med. I've not been sick in nine years and counting. No cough, never had the flu, no vomit bug, no whatever. And honestly, the reason I'm sharing this is because I figured out something that has helped me stay healthy and not catch what's going around and not be sick. Doesn't mean I'm not going to drop dead tomorrow. We don't know when our time is, but I'm telling you, what I've done, and I learned part of it from Wayne Dyer, has changed my life. But so, especially in this day and age, like with the culture and the news, I haven't had cable or TV in 3 months, and it's fantastic. Not gonna, that'll be a different video, but so many of us are so conditioned to focus on our health and worry about our health and always buy into what's going around, all these other things. I can tell you, I haven't even had health insurance since March. Of the last 2.5 years, I've probably spent most of them without health insurance. I've had it for a short period of time and never needed it, thankfully. But I'm 47. Am I in my best shape? No, but I'm in good shape, and I haven't had as much as a sniffle. And I used to get sick twice a year, and I changed that. Let's see. And I'm sharing this humbly. I'm not saying that I'm right, because a lot of people have a hard time when I start talking about this. Like, people are like, "Oh, well, you better knock on wood." When I tell people, like, I don't get sick, the first thing out of people's mouths is, "You better knock on wood." I don't need to knock on wood. I know that I'm good. Let's look at the word disease first. Dis-ease. Dis-ease. When you're not at ease, I personally, through Joe Dispenza and so many other people, have taught me, like, disease originates in the mind. I'm not saying you can't catch something, but it all starts up here. You have to learn to control that more. I mean, this is coming from someone that's 9 years without an illness. Except one, I'll admit that. Not an illness. There was a time I was in a job about 2 years ago. Misaligned job. I was miserable. My numbers were doing really good, and they put me on a plan, a sales plan, basically to push me out the door. And the stress got to me, and the only thing I got was shingles. It scared me. I was like, what is this shit on my side and back? But I never had pain from it. I did go to the doctor, like a doc in the box for that time. I don't even have a primary care physician. I don't need one. I don't get sick. And that was probably 2 years ago, and I was 100% stress, and I knew it. Stress will make you sick. But the thing on Twitter is just like somebody, that lady had posted that, like, her and her husband are over 50 and don't have meds, and there were so many replies and so much engagement. And in this world right now, when we've been just threatened at every angle of some invisible thing that's going to kill you, it's time to talk about living healthy. And that's something that the media or government, nobody's going to teach you how to live healthy. So how have I done this for 9 years? Minus the shingles. But you know what? The shingles, I've heard shingles is super painful. I never had pain. Never did I have pain. I was just like, what is that shit? And it went away really quick. But mindset is huge. How you talk is huge. There's 7 things that have been key to me being healthy. And I don't get sick, and I don't have insurance. And you know what? I'm going to die one day. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm well aware of that. It's not going to be anytime soon. But I've not been sick in over 9 years. I've never had the flu. I've not had strep or vomit bug since I was a kid. So I must be doing something right. Just the post on Twitter like helped me realize it's something I need to talk about. So number one, change your talk and how you think about illness. And I learned this from Wayne Dyer. And I'll say this, like in the beginning, before I quit getting sick 9 years ago, I used to get sinus infections twice a year. And you know what my mantra, my story was to everyone? I never get sick, except in the spring and fall. This is what I would say. I never get sick, except in the spring and fall when the seasons change. And I get sinus infection or bronchitis, whatever. It would manifest. Like when the seasons change, allergies would kick in, and I would be sick. And I would have to go get a Z-Pack or text a doctor I know for a Z-Pack. And it was fine. But I've looked back, and Wayne Dyer taught me that. And I've realized that. I used to affirm that to everyone. That was my story. So change your story. I would tell everyone, I'd never get sick except in the spring and the fall when. I changed that story 9 years ago. I've not had one sinus infection since then. Not one upper respiratory infection since then. Not one. It's powerful. When you affirm health, you claim health. When you affirm it internally and when you affirm it externally. And so many people are constantly talking about what's going around, blah, blah, blah. No, you got to affirm health first. Next. Like I said, ignore what's going around. You have to come with that mindset because there's always going to be people around you. Like, did you hear that the vomit bug is going around or the flu or COVID, whatever. If you're giving energy to what other people are saying, there's always germs and things. Why do we feel like when you feel like it's going around, when you're focusing on that, when you're talking about that, when you say something's going around, you're inviting it into your realm. You have to get to that place. It's almost like the analogy of, there's been a story about people that if you went up to people on a cruise ship and just a random passenger and there were 4 or 5 people, that power of suggestion. If you went up to a random passenger and was like, "Ooh, you don't look like you're feeling well. You don't look like you're feeling well. You look like you're getting seasick." More times than not, and there's been clinical studies, they manifest those symptoms. Imagine if you went to the captain of the ship who has lived his life on the ocean and told him, "Oh, it looks like you're getting seasick." He would laugh at you. That's how I am. With all the COVID, flu, vomit bugs, anything going around, I don't get it. I do not get it. I'm immune. I'm immune. I got 9 years running. That counts for something because I know that in my heart. Quit being susceptible. Quit talking about disease. Quit buying into what's going around. It's powerful. Have that immunity mindset. Just realize it doesn't apply to me. I hear people all the time talking about disease and illness and blah, blah, blah. And I've been around. Everyone in my family had COVID. All 3 of my family members had COVID. 2 of them had it bad. 1 had no symptoms. I was around them plenty. You think I even got a cough or a sniffle? Not a thing. Starts up here. Don't buy into the age thing. I'm 47. I'm not on any prescription medication. I don't plan to be. The only one I've ever had was Adderall because I am ADD. I used to be ADD. I've helped that by being more present, and Adderall is basically junior meth. I don't need that in my body. It didn't serve me well. So quit buying into the narrative and what everyone else is saying. Don't go to the doctor regularly if you don't have a problem. And I'm going to follow this up with a quote from a physician. And I'll preface this by saying that I spent the bulk of my career calling on surgeons, vascular surgeons, cardiologists, interventional radiologists, nephrologists. I've called on a lot of doctors. And this is not diminishing doctors in general. I'm just saying, we don't have healthcare in this country. We have disease management. And I've seen it up close and personal. They all practice medicine based on how they were taught to do so. But so many of us feel like, oh shit, you got to go to the doctor every year because you go to the doctor and you have a symptom and you're going to get prescription, then you got to come back and follow up. And I get to bill you every time you show up. I'm going to read this quote, and I posted it, by Dr. Alan Greenberg, MD. As a retired physician, I can honestly say that unless you're in a serious accident, your best chance of living to a ripe old age is to avoid doctors and hospitals and learn nutrition, herbal medicine, and other forms of natural medicine unless you're fortunate enough to have a naturopathic physician available. Almost all drugs are toxic and are designed only to treat symptoms and not cure anyone. It's a fact. It's a fact. Next point, number 5. If you're on a lot of medicines, maybe go find another doctor. Go find another doctor. And I'll say this, and I'm not shitting on the medical profession because they do a lot of good. I've been up close and personal. I was in surgery, cath labs. I've seen a lot of things up close and personal. There's a lot of really awesome doctors. Some are great at what they do. Some are horrible at what they do. No one knows the difference. Everyone loves their doctor, and we give just blind support to someone because they're a doctor, because they went to medical school. I've seen some doctors that are absolutely horrible. I wouldn't let them touch my dogs. If you want to take care of your health, don't go to the doctor unless you have a need to. I mean, if you don't feel good, go to a doctor. If you have a problem, go to a doctor. But all this just routine, just showing up because it's what you're supposed to do, how's that going to help you? It's like going looking for problems in life. You go to a doctor and get blood work done. If you have a problem, if you don't feel good, go to the doctor. Absolutely. If something's wrong, go to the doctor. But so many people go for no reason, and then they get a blood result back, and oh, this is up and this is down, and then it goes in your head. It's powerful. This is powerful shit. I've not been sick in 9 years. This works for me, and I'm hoping this can help people. I'm not saying this arrogantly. I'm saying this passionately, because we need to change healthcare. We do not have healthcare. We have disease management. Yeah, if you're on a lot of docs, go find a new one. If you're on a lot of meds, go find a new doc. Sorry. Reduce stress. When you're in a stressful situation, I got shingles just from stress. But when we're in a stressful situation, our bodies go into fight or flight. We're all on auto program from the subconscious mind. But when you're stressed out and in that fight or flight mode, our bodies are designed for fight or flight so we can, like back in the day, escape if a lion was chasing or something. We don't have that. But the stress hormones that are secreted by our bodies when we are angry, scared, frustrated, all these emotions, if we live in that state, it will adversely impact our body. Remember, disease, dis-ease. Find a way to get more at ease. It's very powerful. And if you're in a job I know someone personally that's like a sister to me. She literally almost died from the stress of her job and the bullshit she was going through. Don't underestimate that. And realize too, if you die at your job will be posted the next day. Don't worry about it. They don't give a fuck about you. You need to care about yourself. If you're in a stressful situation in life, move out of it. It will make you sick. It floods your body with stress hormones, and that increases inflammation. Let's see. Last thing, lifestyle modifications. It's funny, in the last year we've had this pandemic going on. I'm not getting into it, I'm not going to mention it. You get in trouble for doing that. But we've had this horrible thing that was supposed to kill everyone, even though it has, I think, a 99.9% survival rate for pretty much everyone under 90. Shocker. But fear does a lot of that. And the fact that There's not been any mention of modifying your lifestyle. It's just alarming. Everyone's focused on, everyone is so focused on not dying, but everyone's afraid to live life because of that. Quit being afraid. Do you want to be healthier? Affirm health. And especially how you talk to yourself and others. I learned that because I used to say, that's what I used to say. I never get sick except every spring and fall when the season changes, my allergies turn into a sinus infection. What do you think happened every spring and fall? That was like 2010 or 11. That was 2011. You know how many sinus infections I've had since then? Once I changed that narrative and I spoke it to myself and to others, zero. I haven't had health insurance in over a year. Don't need it. I don't know. The Twitter thing inspired me. I'm not saying any of this arrogantly. And every time I say that I don't get sick, the first thing people say is like, oh, you better find some wood and knock on some wood. I don't need to. I know this. I own this. Change the way you think. Change the way you talk. Quit looking for problems. Health begins up here. Disease is being not at ease. One of my longer videos, but I'm very passionate about this. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just on a 9-year run and nobody can fuck with me about that. Like, that's true. I know that. Someone could have COVID and spit in my cup. I wouldn't get it. I promise you. I'm immune to stuff. It's a mindset. And you can have that too. Thanks for tuning in. So many people are dealing with illness and struggles, and I'm not belittling what you're going through, but think about that. How much power are you giving your illness, your disease, your whatever? Are you talking about it? Are you talking about it to other people? Are you reaffirming it in your life? When someone says there's something going around and you focus on it, like you're inviting it in. Health starts here. No, shit. I'm not saying I'm perfect, man. I'm just on a hell of a run. And I'm 47. I'm not on any meds. I don't have pain in my body. I don't take Tylenol. I don't take shit. I'm blessed. You can be too. And I know a lot of people in that thread today that have been on medicines, multiple meds, and they work their way off of it. It can happen. Thanks for tuning in. Super grateful for everyone's support. Health begins up here. It begins with how you talk, how you think, what you say to others, what you say to yourself. Have a happy now, because you can't be happy yesterday, and you can't be happy tomorrow. Thank you.